Hey guys, what is up? It's Cal and Sal here. We are so happy to be coming to you guys after a resounding 3-2 week last week. What's going on, Sal?
Oh, we're back on the winning side of things. It just feels glorious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks, and we're able to reach out with our winnings and help out some of our charities. It's just fantastic.
absolutely. Finally gotten the green. We're 3 games under on the season, so we still have a little more work to do. As you guys can probably tell from the slightly reduced audio, Cal wasn't able to fly out this week. He had, I think, some business arrangements over on the islands, so it's going to be
I needed to stay here at headquarters. Had a few things, some pressing matters I had to take care of. Everything's looking great, and we're just enjoying our time home here at the home base.
Hey, I'm sure you had plenty of celebration to do after our first resounding victory last week. So,
Fantastic.
I'm sure you must have been having some great high-rise parties up in your suite over there in Maui.
It's just been a beautiful. We've had some incredible weather over here.
Oh yeah, well that's great. Anyway, so on to the Blazing 5 for this week. We got some great picks for you guys. I'm thinking this could be the 5-0. I feel so strongly about at least 4 of these, and we'll touch base on them. So starting out, we got Carolina as the 1.5 underdog versus Denver. This one kind of shocked me because Denver really hasn't done anything all season to prove that they're really a competitor in these games. And Carolina, while their record's pretty poor at 4-8, I've kind of liked what I've seen out of them. You know, I really like Bridgewater.
They played well in many games. They've been in games. They played well.
Yeah, they're a tough out. And you know, like they've beaten. I don't know if they've beaten any good teams, but they've been in games. Like they could easily be 8-4 if a couple possessions went the other way. So I think a 1.5 underdog there is just a pretty easy pick for me.
I agree with you, Cal. I think that's a great pick.
Yeah, I think that might be my favorite of all our picks. Next, we got KC -7 versus Miami. KC's been on a tear all season. Mahomes is quietly staging a case for the MVP of the league. I don't think he's quite up there with your Rodgers, or at this point, I might even say Josh Allen might be ahead of him. Last week, we were kind of torn, either him or Josh Allen at 3 or 4, and then I always got Brady at 2 because you never know. I mean, he can. When Brady's getting good protection, he looks like the best QB in the league. It just comes down to the offensive line. But Mahomes has quietly been on a tear the past couple weeks, and Tyreek Hill's unstoppable. So I think,
sure is.
Yeah, I don't think Miami's going to be able to put a container on what KC brings to the table. And Tua's been kind of hit or miss, hot and cold.
He's been very inconsistent, would be a kind word.
Yeah, I agree. So -7 there, I'd feel comfortable with. At the very least, I think you could at least push that if they only win by 7. But I don't see this being a close game here.
No, I don't either. I think this is going to be one where you can comfortably bank on Mahomes and company covering that spread.
Yeah, great point, Sal. So our next one is one of my most hated teams of the league this year is the Indianapolis Colts, who beat our Packers, sadly.
That's right.
So it's a -2 favorite versus the Raiders. Raiders, I think the past 4 or 5 weeks have not looked like a playoff team. They had
begun to fall off, as the Raiders have typically done every year.
They always seem to late in the year. They always start out hot too, which is interesting. But
they do, and then they seem to go into a swoon, and that's then you just you wish them a fond farewell.
You sure do. They barely beat the Jets last week on a Hail Mary from Derek Carr. Nice throw, but I swear the Jets told the guy just let him go. Because who guards that with 5 seconds left? Your man guarding the guy at the line? Questionable. But needless to say, the Colts are not the Jets. And
that Jacobs fella he's questionable for the game.
Oh, is he questionable injury-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so he's not going to be 100%.
I've been tracking him. He's an excellent runner, but he is questionable for Sunday's game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Colts have played well all season.
The only chance that with this bet is the worry I have is that Darren Waller has been also on a tear.
He's been on a tear, but that's against the Jets, so it doesn't count. But no, I think the Colts' defense is outstanding. It's a whole different level from the Jets. And meanwhile, the offense has also been playing well. So I think -2 is a little too low here. I might have stayed away if it was like at -5, but -2, I feel like there's just too many, possibilities where you can win that bet.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
that sounds like a solid bet to me, Cal.
Yeah, I'd feel pretty comfortable on that one. Our next bet's going to be Cleveland as the 2.5 underdog versus Baltimore. Baker Mayfield's just a different animal without Odell Beckham. I don't know what else to say. They tore apart the Tennessee Titans last week. They were up by 30 points at one point in that game until they took the foot off the gas and let them run out the clock. But Baker's just been on a tear, and I don't see Lamar Jackson keeping up with him. I think, Baker's really I never thought I'd say this, but he's pushing top 15 quarterback right now, maybe top 10.
And you got to give some love to that Chubb fella, that chubby fella.
Oh, I love Chubby.
He's a great running back, and he's been another key factor to Baker's success, I believe.
Yeah, definitely the run game. I mean, the attention that people have to pay to Kareem Hunt and Chubb is just, it opens up those holes in the passing lane. And when you have a receiving core that can actually beat one-on-one coverage now that Odell Beckham's gone, and they have hands now because Odell Beckham also was leading the league in drops, Baker's just unlocked and he's tearing apart teams. It's pretty terrifying. And then meanwhile, Lamar, they won last week. It was a nice win against the Cowboys, so take that with a grain of salt. But it's was it the Cowboys? Confirm that.
Those Ravens, they do have Mark Andrews returning off that COVID quarantine, and he's always a factor.
Oh, Mark Andrews is great, but I mean, coming back from COVID, look at Cam Newton since he came back. I don't know, he's been terrible all season, but he hasn't thrown for over 100 yards, I think, in 5 games since coming back from COVID.
That's true.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's our pick there. We love Cleveland. Baltimore, they have a great defense. We're still really questionable on that offense, and I think Stefanski's a good enough coach to limit Lamar Jackson's running lanes and make him beat him over the top. So I think, 2.5 underdog seems like an easy bet there. And then our final bet of the week, which is actually tonight's game. So stay tuned for that because Cal and Sal hopefully will get off to a 1-0 start tonight. We
hope to start strong on this week.
We always try to.
Our great work of last week.
We always try to. We got the Rams over the Patriots at a 4.5 favorite. I know we've been trying to bet against the Patriots the past 2 weeks, and we even mentioned it last week. We were feeling a little questionable, betting the Chargers over them. But I think this time the Rams are actually a good team at 8-4. Goff's looked good. McVay's a great coach. A good receiving core, some of the better weapons in the league. Against, Belichick's defense and special teams has somehow been carrying that Patriots team to some wins. But I think, a good, well-coached team like the Rams, I don't think they're going to fall into the same traps that you might see a team like the Chargers, who are one of the worst coached teams in the league, fall into. Your thoughts there, Sal?
Oh, I agree. This is a classic case where you have two what I consider pretty good coaches. I know you're not quite as high on Belichick as old Sal is, but yeah. And I think the talent's going to win out. And if you look at the talent, you're going to see that there's a lot more talented players on that Rams team than what Belichick's bringing forward. And you've got a disparity at that quarterback position also.
Yeah, you got Cam Newton, who's averaging 60 yards a game over the last 5 games, versus Jared Goff, who's kind of turning himself into one of the best QBs in the league, like top 15 probably.
Right. So it'll be an exciting game to watch tonight on the Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
And
cheer for Cal and Sal. Hopefully,
really anticipating the Rams to show. They've been a little. I've been a little concerned about them, but I think they're really starting to come into form, and I think they'll show their strength tonight. Yeah,
I've liked what they've been bringing to the table, so I feel pretty comfortable about that one. So that's all for us, guys. Thanks so much for the support you guys have been showing lately.
Everyone. We really appreciate all the great comments, all the support.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. We couldn't do it without you. Happy to, for those of you who did bet with us last week, congratulations on going 3-2. Hopefully we'll bring it again and have another winning week. So it's Cal and Sal here. Not quite as high quality as our usual pods because Cal had to call in on this one. Wasn't able to fly out. But, we still appreciate having you on, Cal, and thanks so much for your time.
And I appreciate Cal. I appreciate working with you, Cal. And as we come together on every week and try to do our best, help our listeners make those wise choices out there.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Let's get that blazing 5,
everyone.
baby. All right.
Happy holidays.
Peace.